Hello and welcome to vlog number 90. Now, first of all, I expect this to be a bit longer today due to combining it with a community question from May Meister. But yeah, it's going to be a bit ranty too, and most of it is admittedly first world problems. So yeah, now I'm not bothering with the clip-on mic because the audio from this camera is good enough for vlogs. It's good enough for vlogs. So let's get on with this. So first little ranty thing. It's not a rant to start with. I got the new Wet Leg album CD. So yeah, CD, multiple cased, new Wet Leg CD. Now the ranty bit about this is the lyric sheet. It's yellow on grey. You can't bloody read it. Although I haven't said that, I can read it now. Maybe it's because I've been tired. That's another thing I'm coming on to later on. But yeah, I'm pleased with this. It's completely different from their first one. Not so comedic. They're comedic. It's more meaningful, I think, is the way to put it. But yeah, Wet Leg album. No. This one, I think any dog owner will know, with a garden will know this. I can't stop them digging up the garden. You know, I paid a decent amount to get this garden sorted out, and they keep digging. I've even used a whole bag of topsoil on one part of the garden, and within 5 minutes again they were digging it. So anyway, they got cones on at the moment. I'll come to that in a bit. So I'm gonna, they're on till Friday. It's Monday now. I'm gonna get some grass seed down and see if that if it's got a chance until then, because they can't come out the back unsupervised for a while. So yeah, but we'll see on that one. Yeah, so that's the second little bit. As I say, mainly first world problems. Maggots, a horrible one. Ugh. In the waste, in the food caddy, the waste food caddy. I figured out what was wrong, and it was the clip at the back where the hinge for what causes the hinge is, and they come out, so the flies were crawling through and inside and filling it up. I ended up taking every single bag out, washing it down with a hose, washing the inside down with disinfectant and the hose, and then putting everything back in again. There was still some in there. I couldn't get them all off, but it was far more preferable when it went out. There was not many in there when it was on collection day. So yeah, it wasn't such an unpleasant thing for the bin men to collect. I'm quite a decent person when it comes to this. I'm quite considerate. Yeah, so that was the maggots. Now, one thing I will say. We've had a bit of rain in the last few weeks, and while I've been cycling, I've noticed that when we have rain constantly, it's not quite so bad. People get used to it. When we have rain after a dry spell, people can't drive for shit. Driving standards go well down. I got 4 clips in one day where people are just so impatient. They just gotta get in front, They couldn't go anywhere, but they gotta get in front. That's on the bike. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. And I'm just looking at people's driving. I'm thinking, what the hell? Where did you learn to drive? And all because of a little bit of rain. Just keep your distance and drive. Don't worry about the rain. Use your wipers. Keep your same distance from everything else and drive. Bloody hell. Yeah. Right. Now, this one, I'm not sure if this is a first world problem. But it may be due to the heat, but I've been feeling fatigued a lot lately. Now, I do like the heat, don't get me wrong. I do like the heat. But it may be due to the heat and humidity. I've been feeling fatigued and just getting things wrong. I don't think it's all down to my shifts, because even with a sleeping pattern, I'm feeling fatigued. I may even end up going to see the doctor about it. Because there's one other thing which I've been getting is I'll go to the toilet, just the normal number one, go to the toilet and it doesn't empty my bladder in one go. 2 minutes later I'm going again, and then I'm okay for hours. But yeah, I mean, it's not trickling or anything like that. It doesn't seem the usual the usual suspects for worrisome behaviour, but yeah, it's on the edge there. I think it's on the edge there. I mean, I'm going regular both ways, so yeah, I don't know. It might just be my age. I mean, I'm bloody 60 now. But yeah, we need to see about that. But yeah, the heat, I think we've had more heat, higher temperatures this year than ever I remember. I mean, basically the temperatures beat 1976 for me, and that was the best year. I was the drought year, mind. We haven't got that far yet. It's not so hot at the moment. Now we hit constant temperatures of over 33 degrees. It's lovely in there. Gotta be honest, it's lovely in there. And I haven't been in there for 3 days, but we'll come to that in a second. But yeah, we'll see. I need to consider this. And I may book a doctor's appointment when I can on my midweek days off, maybe next week if I can, just to discuss it. Yes, we shall see. Anyway, the dogs, as I was saying, they got cones on. They've both been spayed, and they are clumsy as hell with those cones on. They just keep going as if they got normal and whack into things, knocking things over, worse than ever. And yeah, it's but they can't come out the garden and supervise. They got to be on their leads out the garden. That's the main thing. They got to be on their leads. So I think I might take, as I say, the opportunity to. I'm mowing the lawn today, shut some grass seeds down, put the sprinkler over, and see if I can get something recovered. I think over that part of the garden, near the fence, is basically a write-off, because that's where they keep digging. You leave it alone, and grass grows lovely. So the garden itself is fine. I don't think I wasted my money. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating, and especially since the pool, which was the main reason I got the garden done, is nice underfoot. It was not a waste of money for sure, but it's frustrating that it started off all nice and lush and even green, and now it's patchy. And that's not just with them digging, of course. That's with them messing as well. But yeah. They do go for regular walks, or at least they do when they're not on the cone. But yeah, anyway. Now, this weekend has been really busy. Let me have a coffee before I sort this out. This weekend has been pretty busy. Friday we had to take the dogs for their post-op checkup. I had to pick up my daughter from work. And then we went for a movie. Well, it was different. It was another way round. So I had to pick up my daughter from work, take the dogs for a checkup, and was hit with a little bit of a shock because my daughter didn't have enough money. So I had to put a lot of money. And getting it back. My daughter sorting the dogs out, which was part of the deal when they got them. Yeah, they're getting it back. But yeah, it was a little bit. It threw me for 6 at it. But yeah, anyway. Went to the movie, Fantastic Four, and it was nice to see this one. It was a good one. It was character-based, mostly character-based. Setting it, and you could watch it without watching 1,500 different other Marvel movies. There's no links to anything else. It's set in a different universe, Earth 828, which is actually based on Jack Kirby's birthday. And yeah, it was a good thing. There was destruction in there, of course. It's a Marvel movie with superheroes and massive villains, and yeah. But yeah, it was. I will say though, there were 3 things in there were highly unrealistic for me, even more unrealistic than the superpowers. One, we had the rocket taking off in the middle of the city. Yeah. 2, when they were all crowding out. No, hang on. I'll leave it at that. It's too soon after. I'm not going to give any more spoilers. The rocket in the middle of the city isn't really a spoilers. But there's 2 other things I was going to say, and I just thought, hang on, that would be spoiling it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that for you. But yeah, you'll have to wait and see. I'll give my opinions on that in a few months. But yeah, there's 2 more things, and they came close to each other. Yeah, well, I won't go there. So yeah, you're safe. If you thought I was going to give a spoiler, then so did I, and I just realised to stop myself. Okay, and now for the bit which is extra, the Mainmeister community question. And he asked, if you were to get rid of one company, Microsoft, Sony, Sega or Nintendo, who would you get rid of? Now, it's been cleared up since then that he meant on the gaming side. And that one is easy. That's gonna be Microsoft on the gaming side. Sega and Nintendo made a huge impact on the gaming industry during their console years and in the arcades, but the consoles. So yeah, and I think they drove each other. But when we get into the latest generation consoles of Xbox and PlayStation, yeah, they're both based on the same technology, so nobody's driving anybody, really. And Sony just got it, basically. Sony just got it. Microsoft, it's all just PCs. It's all just PCs. Both of them are just PCs, but Microsoft is more so, and that's what it was based on in the first place. The Xbox was based on PCs. So for consoles, it's quite easy to get rid of the Xbox. Not that I would. This is just part of the question. Now, but for everything else, when you consider it, if you lost Microsoft, you'd lose the main drive for computing industry. Now, Del Boy pointed something out, that even though the companies were gone, you'd still have the same people, so maybe things would go the same. But just going on the companies, you lose Microsoft, you basically lose the computer drive, because Microsoft basically run everything. Sony, they got their cameras and other things, televisions, everything else. And while again there are other things, I mean, they brought in the Walkman, they innovated, they brought in new technology. So you can't lose Sony. Nintendo and Sega, both gaming massives, but out of those two, it's going to be one of those two. Because they are mainly focused on just the gaming. And out of those two, I think, even though the Mega Drive was better than the SNES in my opinion, for my sort of game, I never had either. I never went through either of the consoles. Nintendo had the most popular handheld. Sega had the Game Gear, which was a Master System portable, basically, which ate through batteries. Sega have stopped making consoles. Nintendo are still going. So yeah, Nintendo are still going. Switch 2, yeah. So in that case, I would say Sega to go. But yeah, those are my answers for that one. Not very deep. I don't go very deep into these things. So if it was again, if it's the case of just consoles, Microsoft, it was the case of everything Sega. And as far as I'm concerned, this is just one of the dangers of time travel. If you could do this and go back and get rid of one, nah. Keep things as they are. Our past is what makes us today. Our past makes us today. You can't go back and correct all your mistakes again, because our mistakes are what make us today. So there. Now, on to the shout-outs to the people who commented on my videos in the last 3 weeks since my last vlog. These are, here we go. There's a couple here new as well, and on older videos. Dark Side of Video, Robbie from Ingress, yes, and Thomas from work. What Ho Snorkers, Kevin Gallagher, Nichols Wilson, Mark Blaster, Lucas Rainford, Matthias Kunzman, I'm not going to put a T in there, even though it probably is, Pingy, and Marcus, Matthias and the YouTuber YouTube God were on my Amiga mashup of Bad Apple, where I put the animation along with the English lyrics. Yeah, nice. I'm not going to say much about the wars this time. It keeps going on. There's some sort of ceasefire going on in the Middle East. I don't trust it. Don't trust Putin. Certainly don't trust Trump. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there, because people are waking up around and I can hear noises going around. So yeah, that'll do nicely. So until the next vlog in 3 weeks time, Have a good one. I'll catch you then. Ta-ra now.